Hi, everybody. It's Laurie Rae Rezanoff talking about Mercury retrograde that we're in Cancer here, June 13th to August 7th of 2026. And I'm here from Okotoks, Alberta, Canada, and wishing everybody we're in the summer pieces here now, so it's like hopefully everybody's having a great, summertime right now. So Mercury retrograde, or sorry, Mercury, messenger of the gods, our communication planet, mental body, shows how our mind works, can be analytical, discriminative, critical, or diplomatic. Our writing, speaking, thinking, learning styles and abilities, our dexterity, being multifaceted and diverse, and looking at where Mercury is in your chart gives you one idea. How your mind works. He travels around the zodiac in about 88 days, moves about 4 degrees per day, except for 3 to 4 times a year when he stations retrograde. Seems to be going backwards, staying in one sign for over 2 months, and giving our minds a logic break to use our right brains creatively and intuitively for a change of pace, which kind of goes against the grain for a lot of people who the left side of the brain is the only way that they want to go. Mercury also governs the signs of Gemini and Virgo, as well as the third house of I Speak. So you'll take a look in your chart where your Mercury is residing, if it's in Gemini, and where Gemini and Virgo are in your chart, as well as what's in your third house. Is Mercury there? Is Virgo there? Is Gemini there? Another sign is there. And then those four areas gives you a complete picture as to how your mind works. So it's kind of interesting. Mercury retrograde timings activate mental reviews, reassessments, reorganization. And this is also how we're thinking, our beliefs about ourselves, about other people, what we need to do about organizing our offices or garages or closets. Because with our right brain troubleshooting, it seems easier now because our left brain isn't getting in the way. Mercury will move direct along a certain amount of degrees and then will go retrograde again or back through those previous degrees and then directly forward again, making 3 passes along the same 10 degrees of the zodiac sign it was retrograde in. So locate where the zodiac sign and degrees of Mercury will pass over in your birth chart, and this gives you an idea of where in your life you need to reassess things as to where Mercury is right now. And it can be an initiating time if Mercury's in a cardinal sign, or a stable with stubbornness time if he's in a fixed sign, or adaptable, changeable time if he's in a mutable sign, mentally speaking. So in 2026 and also previously in 2013, Mercury retrograde is traveling through the water signs. So that's Cancer. Well, he started off with Pisces, and now we're in Cancer, and then he'll be doing Scorpio in the fall. So this is how we're connecting ourselves mentally with our emotional body, and emotionally with our mental body. So our emotions and our intuition, and being insightful, dreaming, envisioning, receiving messages in a non-logical way. So it may feel as if your mind is floating in water. You think a thought and then poof, it's gone. So if you're trying to be navigating this time in a logical, straightforward manner, it's not going to happen. Just so you know, it's going to be more of a feeling thing. You're going to feel yourself going through. So in February 2026, we were in the spiritual, magical, wise, mutable Pisces sign from February 11th to April 9th. And Mercury traveled 3 times over and back and over from 8 degrees of Pisces, 31 minutes to 22 degrees of Pisces, 34 minutes. Where is this in your chart? How are your dreams, visions? Did you meditate more or sleep more to access your higher self guides and angels and messages? And was your intuition stronger? Did you follow its guidance? And then now, from June 13th to August 7th, Mercury's moving through sensitive, compassionate, family-oriented caregiving and nurturing. These are the themes of the cardinal Cancer, directly along the degrees of 16 degrees of Cancer, 30 minutes, to 26 degrees of Cancer, 14 minutes. And we're in the pre-retrograde shadow period. So we're seeing somehow how we're not doing the caregiving or the nurturing, how we're not being sensitive or compassionate with ourselves, especially, or other people. And so then how are we allowing our mental body to think through our emotional body, to feel our way forward, to listen to, trust in, and follow our intuition, and to do it deeply. We're deeply connecting with ourselves. And so we may be noticing how we're feeling, what our intuition is a lot louder. It's in our face now. So we're highly sensitive to the moods, emotions, and tone of voice, words used, and energies of others right now. Any shadow issues that are showing up here for you. And so then Mercury will then station retrograde. So he slows down to seemingly head backwards between June 29th and July 22nd. That's the actual retrograde timing. And he going back along those same degrees to review, reassess, reorganize all the decisions, conversations, emotions that we've been experiencing since June 13th. Perhaps having deeply personal conversations we've not allowed ourselves to have with others before now. Very highly vulnerable time. So Mercury will station direct again July 23rd to August 7th, heading directly ahead through the degrees of 16 degrees of Cancer to 26 degrees of Cancer. And this is his post-retrograde shadow period to reassess and review how well we navigated this mental body, emotional body connection period. And here's what we may do, just thinking back to, February to April, when we were in Pisces, and then the current timing with Cancer, and then the upcoming timing in Scorpio, when he does his 2-month retrograde timing through the water signs in 2026, which he also did, in 2013. So or all of these experiences may pop up for you. So through the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, when Mercury is here, we're called to plumb the depths of our emotions, examine psychological patterns, and become resensitized to the hidden watery worlds of our feelings. Matters of the heart, areas of love and relationship may draw our attention. The soft people skills, how we nurture, take care of each other, especially self and with compassion. And this is, we're receiving information through the feeling body and through the intuition. And so we're getting more information other than what we would normally get on a mental level. So the water signs are reflective and empathic. Mercury retrograde going through these signs may also, spur us to listen to the psychic arts. And so this is part of our dreams, our astrology, having astrology reading, tarot card reading, or using our tarot cards, and even our pendulums, right? Using our pendulums when there can be increased telepathic, intuitive sensitivities are strong now. And what's your intuition telling you? Are you following its wisdom and guidance? In 2026, it's been interesting to mentally be in these water signs while the expansive taking leaps of faith into the unknown, to go beyond our comfort zones and safe boundaries and truths and beliefs. Planet Jupiter has also been moving through Cancer since last year, June 10th of 2025, and he's just about to leave Cancer to go into Leo as of June 30th. That's next Tuesday, 2026. So Jupiter was also in Cancer in 2013 to 2014. So how did you navigate the expansion of your emotional body then compared to now? And as we did in 2013 with our mental body through Mercury connected with our emotional body, how much easier has it been for you now compared to then? And have you noticed an increase in your intuitive abilities to operate with more compassion, empathy, and nurturing of self and others, feeling your way forward, or is there still work to do here? And this is where you'll find, how well you're navigating or you're not. So the third round of Mercury's retrograde period will be in the deep shadow psyche of the fixed Scorpio sign from October 4th to December 1st, 2026. And this will be interesting because, of course, the sun's going to be through there. The moon will be catching up there. And I think Venus may still be there as well. So I'll be talking about this later. Mercury was also out of bounds already. His declination moved out beyond that of the sun, bringing out wild card, unexpected, brilliant, creative mental abilities from us while he was in Cancer from May 23rd to June 13th. And June 13th was the day he entered his current pre-shadow period. So we're bringing forward, as we're going through the pre-retrograde shadow period, this wild card, unexpected, brilliant, creative mental ability through our emotional body. So that's kind of cool because then it's in our face what we're noticing that we didn't notice before within ourselves and other people. So as was the divine inner feminine planet of Venus, she was moving through the mid to late degrees of Gemini to the mid degrees of Cancer. She was out of balance, moving through mutable air and then cardinal water. So mentally, socially going with the flow, then initiating something new that was an emotional, intuitive thing that we needed. So there's so many layers of planetary support that we're experiencing. I just love how they interact with one another and cycle back and forward and overlap one another as a support to get us to where we need to go. This is how we evolve through soulfully and through our self awareness. So how creative, intuitive, imaginative, and envisioning have you been to bring in and receive the yin energies into your life in 2026? The subtle bodies of the mental, emotional, and spiritual are all interweaving new stories and connections within us, just as they did back in 2013, 2014, preparing us for all the changes coming our way this summer. So now the sun's also in Cancer since the summer solstice of June 21st, and will join Mercury, who's still traveling through the sacred hoop of fixed stars. And I'll show you a chart about that in a minute. Focusing more of a spotlight for all of us these next several weeks into how we're coming together emotionally, sensitive to each other's needs, being mindful of how we treat one another and ourselves. How's your self-talk these days? And, because we're coming together for a reason. So here's the chart. I did this chart as of June 14th, the actual new moon that we are in right now. And this is where you can see the new moon here and the sacred hoop stars, Aldebaran, Rigel, Capella, Sirius, Castor and Pollux, and Procyon. And you can see that Jupiter is here bringing right on top of Procyon. And you can see that this is where the Dakota indigenous folk were looking at this part of the sky to see what planets were moving through there in order to check to see what's going on down here on Earth. And so these days we're going through a lot more of the planets coming through here. And so this is how are we coming together? And with Mercury going retrograde here, how are we coming together as a family, being more sensitive to one another, listening to our intuition, honoring how we're feeling, not only within ourselves, but with other people, and how are we moving forward to do this more. So thank you for being here today, and we'll be connecting again pretty soon. Take care. Bye-bye.